こんにちはです。今回は私が英会話の中で自分が動画で紹介してきた構文をどれだけ使うことができるのかというチャレンジ企画をやっていこうと思います。はい、でこれ今回ね2本目になるんですけれども、これまで私英語がペラペラになるための構文30選という動画を初級編と中上級編で2つ出してるんですけれども、今回はこの中上級編の動画で紹介した構文をどれだけ1回の会話で使えるのかっていうのにトライしてみようと思います。結構難しいと思うんですけれども、頑張ってやってみようと思います。で、今回使うのはオンライン英会話のCamblyですね。で、ネイティブの先生と一緒に会話をしながら、自分で意識的にここで皆さんに紹介した30の構文から構文を取り出して使ってっていうのをやっていこうと思います。で、これらの動画に関しては、初級編だったら構文という2文字、中上級編だったら中級構文という4文字ですね。こちらを公式 LINE に入れていただくと、テキストが今無料でダウンロードできるようになってますので、もしまだ手に入れていない方はぜひダウンロードして皆さん勉強してください。はい。では、早速チャレンジやっていきましょう。
How about you?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were.
Yeah, same. How are you going?
Yeah, it's all going well. I'm keeping busy. Slightly gloomy UK at the moment. It's typical weather this time of year, unfortunately. Actually, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it started to snow a bit. It didn't really last very long.
I'm back in my hometown for the first time in 3 months. It's snowy, icy cold.
So you're having like a little relaxing sort of getaway at the moment.
Yeah, correct. My business has been kind of relaxing towards the end of the year as well. So I just decided to come back here to spend more time with my family and stuff. And I've got a plan to go to Italy
Oh, wow.
in the end of December. So
Strangely, I've been to Italy more times than anywhere else on earth. Very nice place. Yeah, lots of things to see. Recommended. Yeah.
maybe if you could recommend some good places to go to, that would be great.
I would say definitely see the Trevi Fountain is my first recommendation.
When I throw a coin into the fountain, am I supposed to be throwing it like with my eyes closed? Because it feels like everyone who goes to the fountain throws a coin like backward with their
Yes.
eyes closed.
That's a good question. I think it can't, cause any harm to do that. I think it's sort of part of the perhaps adventure that you go there and do that. I think, yeah, why not do it? I'd say, yeah. I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't know.
How many times have you visited Italy?
I'd say 4 times now, I believe. Yeah.
So it was worth visiting there 4 times, you think?
I guess I'm kind of fortunate because when I was younger, my parents took me quite a few times when I was a child and also a slightly grumpy teenager, if I'm honest. And then I went when I was older as well. There's a lot to see there. And also Vesuvius, which I forgot to mention, which is the inactive volcano, is also very nice. And Pompeii, which was affected by the volcano as years have gone by, is also very nice.
So if you were to go there again, like where would you go?
I always like to go to new places. I think a mixture. I'd love to go see Rome again because there's always something happening there. But I'd also like to see places perhaps like Milan or really, really South Italy. I'd like to go and see. I've really properly looked there yet.
And what if I had only 1 day to spend in Florence?
Wow. If I remember correctly, that is where the Ponte Vecchio is located. And it's like a very sort of beautiful bridge that connects one end of the city to the other. There are different shops located in that area. You can really feel history when you walk around in the same way that you can feel that in Kyoto in Japan. You can feel that sense of it being there.
That's the reason why so many people visit there, right? Like they really want to feel like what it was like to live in Italy hundreds or thousands of years ago.
And interesting enough, so there is a city quite close to me called Bath. The city is a Roman city, so a lot of the art and artistry was kind of brought to Bath as a place. And there actually is a bridge that is pretty much a copy of the Ponte Vecchio. It really does look like that. So it's got a different vibe to it, but you really can see that influence of Italy when the Romans came to the UK. They left their mark in a very big way.
Do people there speak English? Do they understand English or not much?
But I mean, I have quite a lot of Italian students on Cambly. I would say in city centres, you definitely hear a lot more English there, but places like Sorrento or along the Amalfi Coast, for example, there you don't really experience it so much.
Because
It
it's
does.
often said, for instance, like in France, people can speak English, but they just don't want to.
Yeah,
But
there's
like,
like a sense of
how about Italy? Like, is it just that like they just can't? They are not really capable of talking in English, or
I guess it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the sort of north and south divide of the country, that I guess the more cosmopolitan cities, you tend to
yeah,
get more people who are business workers or that people of that ilk. And basically, I suppose that it's in their interest to have English so they could communicate internationally. I have to be honest that even the people that didn't really speak English, they probably had enough phrases to get by and communicate on a kind of really basic English level. Certainly, I noticed that in Japan as well, that, you know, trying to say something, people appreciate it rather than some, you
yeah.
know, British guy sort of barking at them in another
Yeah.
language. I can understand that issue, yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn Italian now then.
Just a few basic phrases that will get you by, like, you know, please, thank you, and can I have the bills, always useful. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. I would guess really that in most cases, when somebody comes to a country that they're using their second language, I would think that most people probably speak English as a second language, maybe Spanish in some cases. I would think that they will probably understand that and what I call meet you in the middle and use their English skills to communicate. So in that respect, they'll understand that, you know, you've already learnt this second language and you're using the skills you have there to try and
Yeah,
communicate with someone in that country. Yeah.
it's interesting how like it's often easier to communicate with a non-native who has learned English like as a second language, if that makes sense. Like there is like a feeling that we're on the same wavelength. We are using a language that is not our mother tongue and communicating with each other using it. Like it makes it feel like, you know, we're standing on the same ground. It's sort of like a different feeling from, you know, talking with a native speaker. So
What's actually very impressive as a, you know, an English speaker and also trying to sort of very patchily learn Japanese, and I can understand the situation that people find themselves in. And I think also it's very impressive to see two people communicating using their English skills and in another place as well, because they've got this sort of connection. I learned recently, Koro wa nani o shimasu ka is one I heard, learned recently, sorry. And what was it as well? Machiron, I heard for, of course, all sorts of random things that I've been learning recently. And yeah, it's patchy at best, but I really
yeah,
do love learning Japanese and listening to the language. It's very interesting to me. And
when it comes to language learning, it used to be that, you know, it's really difficult without actually immersing yourself in an environment where the language is spoken. But these days, you know, you have access to lots of resources on the internet very easily, and so you must be able to, yeah, make it. Being in the UK, I think, watching lots of videos and stuff, I think so.
well, it's
Good
a
luck.
good time to be alive when it comes to learning. It really is. Very nice to see you as always anyway. I hope you have a great winter.
はい、ということでいかがだったでしょうか。皆さんもぜひ同じようなチャレンジしてみてください。構文に限らず、例えば私が出版しているディスティンクションのフレーズを10個取り上げておいて、この10個絶対に使うんだとかね、こういうふうに明確なテーマがあると成長も明確に感じることができるので非常におすすめです。ぜひやってみてください。はい、ということで以上チャレンジ企画でした。また次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバイ。